We live in a fast-paced world where we are bombarded by information 24/7 and are expected to make more decisions than ever before. As a result, we've had to adapt. We're better at skimming and consuming lots of information quickly. Because of this, we need to be able to make decisions more quickly. My name is Renika Jacobs from Strive Leadership Consulting, and you found my podcast, Strive for More, The Best Life Now. While there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, you've taken the time out to listen to this one. And so for that, I want to say thank you. Without any further delay, let's get to it. Let's strive for more. This is episode 118, Making Quicker Decisions. Earlier, I talked about strategies for making better hard decisions. Now, I'm going to focus on speed. The tips and ideas in this episode won't apply for all types of decisions. For example, you don't want to flip a coin when it comes to deciding if you're going to propose to someone or not. If, on the other hand, you're stuck between choosing one of two shirts to wear for school or for work, the coin toss is a perfectly acceptable and quick decision-making tool. I know I've already mentioned a few times in the previous episodes that you should practice making decisions by using the actions and tips I've given you. Well, I want to bring it up again to encourage you about fast decision-making. Now, you may be a little slower than you would like in the beginning, but with a little practice and the help of the strategies I'm about to share with you, your speed will increase. Also, the ideas will help you stop overthinking and doubting yourself as you make your choices. So first of all, go with your gut. Our subconscious mind processes a lot of information we aren't aware of and pulls from past experiences and memories. The result might well be a gut feeling, one way or another. Start trusting that gut feeling and use it as a way to quickly make a decision, even on something that feels somewhat complex. Going with your gut feeling is a great way to make choices quickly, and more often than not, the decision will serve you well. The more experience you gain, the better you'll get at both listening to and trusting your gut. And as with anything, practice makes progress. Have you ever thought about putting a timer on making a decision? We've all agonized over simple decisions and often spent way more time choosing than we should. I know I have. Whenever you find yourself in that situation, or when you simply want to work on getting yourself in the habit of making decisions quickly, put a timer on it. That's right. Get out your watch, use an app on your phone, or simply keep an eye on the clock and force yourself to make a decision in less than a minute. Of course, your time frame will change depending on the decision and what information you may need to review. For most simple decisions, though, a conclusion should be possible in less than a minute. If you feel up to the challenge, you can make it 30 seconds. After a little practice, you won't need the timer anymore, and you should be able to make decisions quickly without having to think too much. Don't be afraid to pull out that timer anytime you find yourself procrastinating on a choice. Another thing that you want to do is avoid decision fatigue. There is a phenomenon called decision fatigue. It's the basic idea that we each get a set amount of decisions we're capable of making each day. Think of it as a bucket full of them. Each time we make a choice, we drain a little out of that bucket. By the end of the day, that level can be quite low, or we may even run out of decision-making ability before the day ends. Thankfully, the next morning, the bucket is filled to the brim again. Keep this in mind as you move through your day. Don't put important decisions off until late in the day. Instead, make them in the morning. Use your decision-making ability wisely and don't waste it on unimportant choices. Instead, start cutting back on choices. Great examples of this are like the tech giant Mark Zuckerberg or even Steve Jobs. Both men had a very simple uniform. Wearing the same type of clothes each day cuts back on the potentially agonizing decisions of what to wear. Think about your day and the types of decisions you can cut out of your life so that you can save up for the important stuff. Now, the next idea I'm going to share, it may sound silly, but sometimes the best and quickest thing to do is to let luck decide. So flip a coin. If you have to decide between two perfectly good choices that are equally appealing, like having a sundae or a banana split for dessert, or my favorites, having a slice of red velvet or a slice of red velvet cheesecake, flipping a coin is an appropriate way to arrive at a winner. Should you use this for every decision? Of course not. But there are times or places for this simple method. It's particularly useful when you need to get yourself out of that dreaded procrastination hole and move on with your day. Now, this is something I've mentioned before. Cut your choices. The more choices we have, the harder it gets to decide. That's why my first step when faced with too many options to choose from is to cut that list down. Cut out anything that isn't your favorite or that doesn't seem like a good or even perfect fit. Be ruthless and whittle it down to just a handful of choices. You'll be able to make your decisions much quicker this way. Have you ever thought about that you could delegate some of your decisions? The quickest way to make a decision is not to make it at all. Now, I'm not suggesting that you procrastinate or you just completely throw the choices away. I'm actually suggesting quite the opposite. I want to encourage you to delegate some of the decision making you need to do. If you have an assistant or other members of your team, encourage them to make small choices that they are quite capable of making without you. The same goes for your spouse or even your kids. Have them pick the movie for Saturday night. It's one less decision you have to make. This will help you stay away from decision fatigue. Also, within making good choices and better and faster decisions, don't forget to remind yourself that this isn't permanent. This is another great tip you can decide to help you decide to make decisions faster. It's important to remind yourself that your choice isn't usually permanent and it isn't the end of the world to change your mind later. If you're having a hard time picking what to eat for lunch today, remember that you'll get another chance to pick something different tomorrow. The same concept holds true in other situations. Pick a project to work on and make some progress. Don't worry if it's not the most urgent task or the best thing to work on now. Just start making progress. It will move you forward, and you can always stop and work on something more urgent as the need arises. Another thing you can do is visualize the consequences of inaction. Top athletes and entrepreneurs frequently use visualization to help them reach their goals. I know many of you probably heard of people having vision board parties. Why not put this exercise to good use within decision making too? Take a few seconds to visualize and imagine what will happen when you don't make a decision. Usually, the outcome is much worse than picking something and running with it. Use that as your motivation to decide quickly and move on. You can also use your vision board as a roadmap towards your dreams or your goals for your larger decisions, but it still will help you to make your decisions quickly on what you want. Practice makes you better and quicker at decision making. I know. I keep preaching practicing decision making all throughout the different episodes. So this part, I'll keep short. The more you practice making quick decisions, the faster you'll get at it. Grab that timer and practice speed with small decisions to get better at making quick decisions anytime, anywhere. Don't think this will work? If you're a parent, you've experienced this firsthand. In the beginning, you agonize over every little decision, from what brand of diaper to buy, or to what to feed your child, or how long should you let them take a nap. You consult books, you call your mom, or you consult with friends, etc., right? But by the time that your little ones reach the toddler years, or by your next child, or even your third child, you're a pro at making snap decisions regarding anything but the most difficult situations and choices. I can tell you, with my third child, when you have those icky and nasty blowouts in the diaper and the clothes are ruined, I remember my first and second child, I used to always agonize on how I was going to put the clothes in the bag and where I was going to put them in the diaper bag and take them home and wash them, and should I put them in the sink first, or should I just put them in the washing machine first, or what should I do? Well, when you realize that they grow so fast anyway, and that in the next couple of months or even weeks, they're not even going to be able to wear that outfit. And these days, there are so many options for decisions that the clothes don't even cost that much. And so now I don't have to make a decision about that. The decision I make now is I just toss them and I move on with my day. Own your choices. The biggest waste of time when it comes to decision making is to agonize over your choices after the fact and second guess yourself. Stop it and get in the habit of owning your choices as soon as you make them. Does this mean you should never backtrack and change your mind as things change? Of course not. But it does mean that you should take your pick and then stay your course until there's a good reason to change your mind. Pick an outfit and head to that interview on time. Choose a burger for lunch and then enjoy every single bite. Pick a task to work on and see it through until quitting time. Own your choices and use your time and energy to make progress, no matter what area in life it is. I hope that the simple tips and strategies that I have shared help you get faster at making decisions. Just think about how much time you'll save on any given day. What fun activities will you have time for when you get into the habit of making decisions quickly? If you're interested in listening to more podcasts, please check out the other episodes I have for my show, Strive for More. This is Ronika Jacobs. Thank you for listening, and I hope you continue to live your best life now and strive for more. If you'd like to find out more information about my company, you can visit my website at www.striveforleadership.com.